I just swallowed a mosquito. I probably just ate it. I'm swallowing mosquitoes now in a bunch. Oh, the irony. You see, this COP30 event is not only embarrassing for us for a number of reasons, but it's also a scam. Oh, there's so many mosquitoes here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be waving around my face all the time because they feel my sweat and they get all over my face. And yeah, today we're going to talk about COP30 and why I despise this event, because not only it's a great embarrassment for my country, Brazil, it can also be considered the oldest trick in the book of scams. To tell you why, I'm going to tell you a short story. It's very short. When the Portuguese came to Brazilian shores, they used to give the indigenous people gifts, you know, a small trade for their hospitality and whatnot. And those gifts consisted in mirrors, booze. I forgot the name of those old boomsticks they had, because they had it. Anyway, they also gave those boomsticks to the Japanese. The Japanese samurais were very impressed with the boomsticks. Who was not at the time, right? The thunder stick. Anyway, all those gifts, and then they came back and they kept coming back to these shores, and they exploited everything. Not only the Portuguese, but the Dutch, the Belgians, some pirates from the UK as well, some pirates from France. This is why I mention it. It's the oldest trick in the book. You give gifts because it's the same promises from 500 years ago, 300 years ago. It's the same promises they make to the indigenous people. No. We're going to mark your land for the reservation, you know, because the indigenous people, they all those ethnicities, they need the land to survive. Without the land, they won't survive. Anyway, we exterminated many indigenous ethnicities through our history. Not we, but mostly the Portuguese. Anyway, it's a very violent story, a little bit like the USA. But you see, this is what I mean with it's the old same game, you know. Promises, empty promises, and all talk and no action. It's really a ruse, a scam, taking money from other countries. And also I have a very good reason, I'm gonna tell you in a moment too, to call it a scam. They're trying to rip off European and North American countries and other countries in the world anyway, to give money for our forests, to help protect our forests. Yeah. And isn't it ironic that the whole event caught on fire? Not the whole event, I think it was just one section of it. But anyway, isn't it ironic? And just after Merz, the German chancellor, left because of the whole structure, the whole thing was poorly done. He was not happy with the situation that his delegation was put in there. And he left, right? And I must tell, I understand him. For a German guy that was sitting comfortably there, waiting for winter to arrive, to come to Belém do Pará, which is right there in almost at the equator line, you know. The guy was probably melting, right? Okay, because I still remember Belém do Pará when I went there to visit my aunt that was living there at the time. It is incredibly hot. It rains 3-4 times a day, and it's really incredibly hot. Okay, if you're not used to that kind of heat, you will have some serious trouble. All right. But anyway, Belém is a great city, great people. I love people from Pará. And but you take a German in the middle of autumn slash winter. I don't know. It's winter is starting there, right, in the northern hemisphere. Anyway, to take him out of Germany and put him here in Belém do Pará, I know what happened. He was probably some digestive problems. All right, I know what happened there, and that's why he left. That's the actual reason he left. Not only the attempt of extortion. God damn, it's too many mosquitoes. I have to keep moving. The video will suck because I actually lost my stabilizer. Now I only have one of those normal sticks without a stabilizer. I'm trying to walk slowly so I don't mess the whole picture. But it's slowly makes mosquitoes, makes it easier for the mosquitoes, right? Anyway, this sucks. The video will be very bouncy and stuff, but I gotta keep moving. I just can't stand still, I mean. Anyway, yeah, the biggest reason this is a scam is because Brazil is not, under any circumstances, a poor country. There are a lot of poor people here, of course. There's a lot of poverty still. But Brazil is not a poor country. Just take a look at the size of it in the world map, all right? And that's not even the right projection. You have to look at the Mercator projection. I don't know how to pronounce the Mercator projection, and to realize its real size, okay? And we have a population of 220 approximately million people, millions of people, and absolutely not, we are absolutely not a poor country because of those things. And most of our GDP is derived from agriculture. So we are more than capable to take care of our forests. You know, if our politicians weren't so expensive to us, because, you know, their paycheck gets out of our pockets, you know, but they are too expensive, and there are too many, way too many of them. I know it's a big country and it needs to be managed, you know, but yeah, it's just too many, and they're very expensive to our pockets. And if only they actually cared about the environment, about the forests, if they only knew anything about our forests, because they clearly have no clue. They clearly have absolutely no knowledge about our forests. But the whole point of them with this COP30 is to extort other countries into believing that we need help for that, financial help, when we don't. Okay. Oh, but the other countries do that at their own will, only if they want. It's a negotiation, you know. But yeah, anyway, this tells us that Brazil doesn't care about its forests, and I'm going to keep showing it, proving to you through these videos. Okay, I'm gonna keep showing it to you every year. This very local piece of woods, okay, here, in which I always record my videos, most of my videos, because I'm starting locally. If this whole thing works out for me, maybe I get to show you some incredible other places that I've been to in here. I'm dying to show these places to you, but we need to make this whole thing work, so I have a little bit of better structure to be able to travel, you know. I could just hitchhike and stuff like that, but I just swallowed a mosquito. Okay, I'm gonna cut me spitting the mosquito out. I probably just ate it. Anyway, disgusting, but yeah. I even lost my train of thought, man. So yeah, the irony, huh? Our forests burning every single year, while the coffee havers in there in Flop 30 are having coffee and making empty promises, while the indigenous people don't have their land properly marked, the forests burning, animals dying, our biodiversity being threatened on a daily basis. And it's daily, man. I have shown it in this channel before, okay? I've shown it many times, and next year I'm gonna keep showing it to you, and then the next year, and I'm gonna keep denouncing this whole thing, because this is what I can do for this place, right? And I have the faith that in the future we'll be able to do a lot more. Okay, if you stick with me, if you're still watching this, and if you're commenting, and if you're leaving a like, we're gonna do this, okay? And we'll be able to do a lot more than just denounce and complain, okay? That's not the objective here, just complain, okay? No, I have bigger plans for this than that. The whole event, for all that matters, is just a ruse. Ain't nothing gonna be done about the forests burning every year, being logged illegally, being mined illegally, okay? And the situation is gonna keep being the same until we take this matter in our hands, you know. I don't know. And yeah, by the way, this place that I'm at right now is not even, I'd say, not even 15 kilometers from the presidential farm, which is like a countryside getaway for the president. It's an official estate reserved only for the president. Doesn't matter if it's left or right, the president has the right to inhabit in there as well, besides the palace, the Alvorada Palace. And yeah, we're not 15 kilometers away from his farm, and this place is always burning every single year, okay? Yesterday we had the smoke smell again because they're burning all the trash that they throw up there. I've shown it before, but I think YouTube gets that scene and with all the degradation and the garbage, and think it's a negative thing that I'm showing, that maybe in those videos never get traction. Anyway, stop complaining, dude. It's good for nothing. It's not gonna help our biodiversity. It's not gonna protect our biodiversity. And yeah, I'm each day getting more and more skeptical, because there is a law for this kind of stuff, but it's just not applied. Our territory is too big anyway to be watching over all the time. And we don't have capable people like the police and the firefighters and the environmental institutions in the governmental institutions that are supposed to protect. They don't have enough personnel, because just imagine if the firefighters didn't have to come to this place every year 2-3 times a year, and be in some other places that need more men to put some crazy forest fire somewhere else. All right, because it's every year it happens all over the place, all over the country. Okay, if you check my videos, I've already shown the sheer size of this biome that we're in right now. This is not the Amazon biome, okay? You'll see the size of it and how much of it burns every year. But also the Amazon, man. If you take a look at the statistics, it's just too much, you know, every year. And most of it is done illegally, because this is not farmers doing this, okay? Farmers are worried about farming, okay? It's not the farmers cutting down native forests here, okay? The farmers are too worried, too busy worrying about what their cattle is gonna eat, and if their crops are doing good, you know. That's their worry the whole year, because they have to pay the financing from the government at the end of the year, you know. So yeah, wrapping this one up, don't believe what you see and hear about COP30. I think it was hilarious. Thank God nobody got hurt there. But I think it was hilarious. The irony. It's beautiful. It's like the universe trying to show you what happens. You know, like, yeah, that scares you. Well, it should. It should friggin' scare you, because this whole place, this whole country is burning. Okay, every single year. We need to take better care. Okay, of our biodiversity. Biodiversity. Of our biodiversity. All right. We have this duty with nature. Oh, I'm swallowing mosquitoes now in a bunch. So if you watched until here, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You know, some people in the event can actually be worried about the environment. You know, can actually care about it. But the thing is, these leaders, they don't. They just don't. It's all about business with them. It's all about money grabbing, you know. It's all about extorting money. Okay? So while yeah, there are real efforts in favor of the environment, in favor of our forests, okay? But it's certainly not coming from the politicians. And that's what we have to keep in mind, okay? It depends more on us than on them. All right?